I'm Sheila Blanco, Public Information Manager for Savannah-Chatham County Public Schools, and we are here today with another Connection to Careers. Joining me today is Mr. Scott Rasplica. He is the CEO owner of Delta Metals, and we're going to talk a little bit about jobs that might be feasible for our students or recent graduates. First of all, tell me about Delta Metals. What does your company do?
Delta Metals is a metal fabrication and roofing company. So we make a lot of things out of metal. It can be ductwork as one of our main products. It can also be anything to do with trim or gutters or shelving, countertops, you name it. If it's made out of metal, we can probably do it.
And do you do roofing and fabricate the metals for residential or more industrial type uses?
So our work is commercial and industrial. We rarely ever get involved in residential work. And our roofing is any kind of low slope roof. We're not restricted to just metal. In fact, most of our roofing work is not metal.
Oh, really?
Right, and that's because our name is Delta Metals, that gets confusing.
People assume.
Right, exactly. But we do a lot of metal roofs as well.
Okay. What types of entry-level jobs do you have, or do you have any type of internship or apprenticeship program that a current student could get involved with?
Absolutely. So there aren't a whole lot of training programs for what we do. So almost everybody that has come to work for our company has started out right out of high school or at a very young age. And we've taught them everything they need to know. And we've got people who, well, even our second in command at the company came right out of high school, worked his way up, and has done very well for himself.
Oh, wow.
And we've got a number of people like that. If you have the desire to learn a skill, if you've noticed, manufacturing is making a resurgence in this country. There's a shortage, and it's a great opportunity for somebody coming out of high school to come and work for a company like ours and learn the skills that can give them a career and give them a good retirement after they're done.
So they don't have to know how to do what you do yet. They can train and learn on the job. But is there any type of interest or background that would be beneficial to them? Maybe if they've been in one of our construction or logistics programs or something at one of our schools.
Well, one of the things I've been looking at several of your schools is your welding programs.
Yes.
So we hire a lot of welders. But the truth is that welders are probably 10% of the people that we have. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of other fabrication jobs, and you know, fabrication is just a fancy word for putting stuff together. Mm-hmm. But you've got to learn how to bend the metal, or what we call break it, bend it, roll it. You know, cut it out into the dimensions you need, and then make the product that's being made. And so we teach you that. There's a lot of machinery, everything from lasers and roll forming equipment, press brakes, shears, folders. There's so much equipment. A lot of it is computer controlled, and some of it is still hand operated. So we need people that like to make things, like to be craftsmen, so to speak, and that's, you know, for any young person that's coming out to learn a skill, the more skills you have, the more valuable you are to any company, mm-hmm. and thus the better you have for moving up in the company and making more money. So a company like ours is a great place to start. Of course, we have an incredible record. We have people that have worked here 30, 40 years. We've got people whose fathers retired in our company after 40 years. So we've been around since the 50s, been around a long time. Wow. So it's a great opportunity to come and learn, and whether you stay with us or not, there's a lot of good skills that'll take you throughout your life.
Now, is this paid on-the-job training, and are there any requirements you have to get involved to get accepted into your company? I mean, do they have to be 18? Do they have to already have a degree, anything like that?
They don't need a degree. We have had a requirement to be 18, mm-hmm. but we are able to take internships below that and essentially work for us until they turn 18 and become a full-fledged employee. Mm-hmm. as far as skills, you don't have to know anything. We will teach you what you need to know, but some of the more important things, if you want to be prepared, and it's very basic, and some people may say silly, but know how to read a tape measure. If you can read a tape measure, if you can do basic math, maybe calculate some angles, some of those things get into what you're doing. And then beyond that, if you know how to use a screwdriver, a saw, power tools, those aren't exactly the tools we use, but if you know how to use them and use them safely, then that'll help you as you come to learn the stuff that we work with.
Okay. What type of pay can someone starting out, whether as a brand new employee who doesn't have the skills yet, or as an intern, what type of pay can they make? Are there benefits? Anything that they might like to know to attract them to the job?
That is fluctuating daily with all of the incoming business that we have. I would say in general, someone who is brand new and knows nothing is probably going to start out around $18. We usually start people out at some scale and then evaluate them after 60 to 90 days to see if we want to move them up depending on their ability to work. We have such a wide range of workers, and so it's depending on where you are and what you're doing and what you're capable of doing, those numbers can vary.
Right. Depends on kind of what track you take.
Exactly. The most important thing for us is someone who wants to work, who wants to learn a skill, and is willing to show up every day on time and work hard. If you can do that, you can go a long way in our company.
I think that's the same in most places, right?
Exactly.
Very important skills. Tell me a little bit about how someone can go about applying. Do you all have a website? Should they stop by your office? What's the best route?
We do. We have a website, deltametals.net. Remember, it's .net. A lot of people go to .com, and that's some company in Memphis, I think. So go to deltametals.net, and there is an application on there. But a lot of people like to come and see our office, and we can show you around and show you what we do if you're curious, and we can give you an application to fill out right there on the spot.
And where are you located?
We're on Lathrop Avenue, which is not too far from the Talmadge Bridge, Bay Bridge area.
Okay. Last question for you, unless there's something we haven't talked about that you feel is important. You talked about the opportunity to move up. You've had people who have made a full career, retired there. Why would you tell somebody who is about to graduate high school, why would you tell them to come work for Delta Metals? What makes it a great place to work?
Well, you mentioned a couple of things, and we are a family-owned company, and we try to treat everyone like family. I personally know everybody in the company, and I know we talk on a daily basis about what's going on in their life. To me, it's very important that anybody that comes to work for Delta Metals can make a decent wage and have a decent living. They can have good benefits, such as a health care plan that will help them during rough times, and also a retirement plan. And we have, I've been told by many providers, we have the most generous retirement plan in the area, even more so than a lot of these Fortune 500 companies that work in the area. It's important to me that anybody who dedicates themselves to our company is taken care of throughout the various stages of their life. So we want to teach you skills that you can use wherever you are, whether you're at Delta or anywhere else. We want to make sure you're taken care of with pay and benefits while you're there, and we want to make sure that if you work there your life, you have a good retirement plan when you're done. Beyond that, it's really fun, and I tell people we're not a sexy business. A lot of people want to make airplanes or cars and things like that, and those things, they're important in society. But the stuff we do keeps people safe. We take care of people's health. A lot of the work we do is in our hospitals. We've done the air in almost every hospital, the roofing in all our hospitals, When COVID hit, we transformed emergency rooms, our operating rooms into COVID treatment facilities. You know, the things we do take care of your everyday life, and it's not stuff that you would think of, but there's a lot of personal pride in the things we do. And you drive around this city and cities throughout Georgia and South Carolina, and you see the buildings that we've touched over the years, the historical buildings we've helped redo, the arena, we did all the ductwork in the new arena, for example, and you know those hospitals and everywhere else that we've been in, and the safety programs we do in the manufacturing plants, building machine guards to help keep the workers at those plants from getting hurt on their own facilities. You know, we're helping everybody's everyday lives, and that's important. And you know, the airplanes are sexy, but the stuff we do really affects more people in more ways than anything else.
Sounds like it could be a very rewarding career.
It sure can.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything we didn't talk about that you wanted to make sure you mentioned?
No, I think it's important that people find an occupation that they enjoy doing. And anybody that's interested in Delta Metals, I would invite them to come on out and see what we do. I think they'd be surprised at the fun they can have working with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rozblica, for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.